Pakistani hijabi family. In the village of Sarhota, the air was thick with the scent of jasmine and the sound of drums. The entire community was gathered for the Golden Sun release celebration, honoring the young man whose heart was as pure as his name. However, in the shadows, his enemies watched with narrowed eyes. Envious of his popularity, they began plotting new ways to bring him to ruin. Recognizing the brewing trouble, the Golden Sun decided to temporarily leave his home. He journeyed far beyond the village borders to the great trading cities. Through years of relentless hard work and integrity, he built a vast fortune. When he finally returned, he was no longer just a son. He was a man of immense wealth. With his family's blessing, he married a woman of equal kindness, and they began a life of deep happiness. The Golden Sun grew into a wise king, and soon the Golden Kid was a kid no more. His legacy began with the birth of his first son, Saj. The village rejoiced, but the blessings did not stop there. 2 years later came Waj, followed by a beautiful procession of children. Daughters Shak, Sad, Sab, Saik, and Kin. Then sons Am and Anj, daughter Jia, sons Ish and Aki, and finally daughter Sia. As the children grew, Saj, the eldest, traveled across the seas. He worked tirelessly to fulfill every dream his father ever had, and as a result, the king became richer and more powerful than ever before. The king used his wealth to transform the village. Whenever a family was hungry or a house was broken, they came to the king, and he helped everyone. He became the village's ultimate problem solver. If there was a dispute or a crisis, the people sought his wisdom instead of the law. Seeing the king's success and the village's devotion to him, his old enemies could no longer contain their hatred. They hatched a final, desperate plan. They committed a terrible murder in the dead of night and planted the evidence to frame the king. "The king has fallen," they shouted to the crowds. "The man you trust is a murderer." But the plan backfired. The entire village stood as one, forming a human shield around their king. "He cannot do this," the people roared. "He is kind, he is our provider, and he is innocent." For the first time in history, the accusers were silenced by the sheer will of the people. When the king heard the voices of his villagers defending his honor, tears filled his eyes. He wasn't happy because of his gold. He was happy because he knew he had won the hearts of his people. He thanked every villager personally, and from that day on, the king and his 14 children lived in a peace that no enemy could ever break again.